Okay, let's unpack this. Because today, we are not just reading a book.
Yeah.
We are looking at something the author calls a war manual. If you were a man in the modern world and you felt like the ground is shifting under your feet, like the rules have changed, and nobody sent you the memo, this deep dive is for you.
It is definitely a heavy hitter today. We're looking at Good Without Permission, No More Female Approval by Conrad Riker. And I think the first thing we have to say is this isn't your standard self-help guide.
Not at all.
It's not about how to, dress better or get a promotion. It's about a fundamental shift in how men view reality itself.
Absolutely. This is high-octane stuff. And look, before we even get into the meat of it, and trust me, we are going deep. I need you to do something for me right now.
I like that.
If you value this kind of unfiltered breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. Do it now so you don't miss what's coming.
It really helps us keep the lights on and keep digging into these, let's say, more controversial topics.
Exactly. And listen, we're going to give you the summary, the insights.
Yeah.
But if this resonates with you, if you find yourself nodding and thinking, finally someone is saying it, you need to go to Amazon Kindle or Google Play Books and buy the copy immediately.
It's one of those texts you're going to want to highlight.
So let's set the stage. What's Riker's core premise?
It's pretty stark. He argues that Western civilization is, effectively dying.
Okay, big claim.
A huge claim. But he's not blaming the usual suspects like economic collapse or foreign wars. He's arguing it's dying because of the systematic destruction of male integrity.
Wow. How does he even draw that line? That sounds hyperbolic.
It does, but here's his logic. Civilization is built on structure, order, merit traits he links with traditional masculinity. He claims our institutions, law, education, corporate culture have been completely captured.
Captured by what?
By feminist and Marxist ideologies. And the result is a society where male strength is seen as a disease and female approval is the only currency that matters. He calls it a reckoning.
Right. And he is very, very specific about who this is for. He basically warns women away from the text.
He does.
He says this is for men who feel lied to, broken, or silenced.
Yeah.
Guys who are connecting with, the red pill philosophy or men's rights activism.
It's for the men who tried to play by the old rules, work hard, be a good guy, be honest, and just found himself getting punished for it.
So let's get into that diagnosis. He talks about the lie that broke men. What is this lie?
The lie, essentially, is this idea that's been forced on us that women are inherently morally superior.
And men are.
Inherently toxic. Riker argues we've internalized this gynocentric worldview. We just automatically assume female nature is pure and correct, while male nature is dangerous and needs to be fixed.
And that leads right into the term red pill. A lot of people hear that and immediately think of, angry internet forums.
He frames it differently.
How so?
He strips all that away and just defines the red pill as a diagnosis. It isn't a cult. It's the moment you wake up and you finally see the pattern. It's realizing the game is rigged.
And he connects this to evolutionary psychology, right?
Yeah.
Not just feelings or politics.
Yes, and this is crucial. He's not saying women are evil. He's saying they're acting according to their biological imperatives.
Meaning?
Evolution rewards survival. So in Riker's view, female nature is shaped to reward deception in mating strategies, specifically hypergamy, the instinct to mate up the hierarchy to get the best resources. Men have been socially conditioned to reward passivity, to be subservient, which goes completely against their own biological drives.
He has some wild examples of this double standard, what he calls the integrity penalty.
Oh, yeah.
The one that really stood out was Andrew Tate versus Cardi B.
It's a perfect contrast. Riker points out Tate is branded toxic and basically kicked off the internet for telling men to take responsibility, to be strong.
Right, agency.
But then Riker points to Cardi B winning awards for WAP, a song that is so graphic that if a man wrote it, he'd be canceled forever. But she's celebrated for being empowered.
So one is hate speech, the other's brave.
It's a total inversion of values. Female rage is virtue. Male reasoning is oppression. But here's the kicker he brings in. The University of Texas study. The bad boy bonus.
I saw that. It completely contradicts everything men are told to be.
Exactly. The study found women rated men with mild antisocial traits as more attractive. Risk-taking, rule-breaking, a little callousness even.
So wait, society tells men, be nice, be vulnerable, ask for permission? But the science shows the men who actually do that, they lose.
They lose. The honest, reliable, nice guys are the ones who get divorced for being boring. Riker's argument is that the nice guy is actually revolting to female evolutionary psychology. His niceness looks like weakness.
So the guy who does everything right gets penalized, and the guy who ignores the rules gets the reward. That must be maddening.
It creates what Riker calls a hierarchy of victimhood. The more oppressed you can claim to be, the more power you have. And since men are framed as the oppressors by default, they have zero moral standing.
Which brings us to how this is all enforced. It's not just dating. Riker talks about linguistic warfare.
He draws a direct line to Orwell's 1984. The argument is simple. If you control the words, you control reality.
And the biggest example he uses is the redefinition of abuse.
Right. I mean, think about it. Abuse used to mean physical harm, objective, terrible things. Now, the definition has expanded to include tone policing or emotional labor.
What does that even look like in practice? Give me an example.
Okay, so Riker lays it out. A man asks his partner to take out the trash, but he doesn't smile. That can be framed as emotional abuse because he didn't manage her emotional labor.
So just asking for something is abuse now?
Or if he stays calm while she's yelling, he's gaslighting her. It's a trap.
It's wild. He also says patriarchy isn't even a descriptor anymore. It's just a curse word.
It's a rhetorical stop sign. It shuts down debate. And this ties into what he calls emotional imperialism, the weaponization of emotion to conquer reason.
He cites that 2016 study on jurors. That one really hit me.
Yes, from Law and Human Behavior. It found jurors see crying women as more truthful, even when evidence proves they're lying.
So tears beat facts.
Every time. Riker calls it a ritual sacrifice to the goddess of emotion.
Okay, the anecdote that made my jaw drop was the Silicon Valley story. You have to walk us through that one.
That was chilling. So you have a man, high level, Silicon Valley, drives results. He gets pulled into HR, put on administrative leave.
What did he do? Harassment?
No, the complaint was that he was too confident.
Too confident.
His female colleague reported that his confidence made her feel uncomfortable and inadequate.
So his competence was a liability because it triggered someone's insecurity.
Riker calls it the auditing of personality. It's no longer about your results. It's about whether your existence validates the feelings of everyone around you. Your excellence can be an act of aggression.
And he had another story about a woman feeling unsafe just from a disagreement.
Because safety has been redefined. It's not about physical danger. It's protection from ideas you don't like.
Which leads to the aggressive blinking incident.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. A woman at a major tech firm reprimanded for aggressive blinking. She claimed a male colleague was blinking at her in a way that felt violent.
What does that even mean? How do you defend against that?
You can't, and that's the point. The system is looking for any reason to police male behavior. If they can write you up for blinking, they own you. It's total psychological dominance.
Terrifying. And it's not just corporate. He argues the state itself, the courts, the law is not neutral. The myth of the caring state.
He says the state is complicit, it amplifies female victimhood, and just erases male suffering. He drops a heavy stat. A Pennsylvania study found 75% of restraining orders are against men.
Even though the CDC data shows women initiate violence just as often.
Exactly. But the law doesn't see that. And the most heartbreaking example was James Turner in Ohio.
That one was tough to read. Break it down for us.
So James Turner is paying child support. He takes a DNA test, finds out the child is not his. The mother even admitted it.
So, case closed. Fraud exposed.
You would think. But the court ruled against him, forced him to pay $18,000 in back support for a child that wasn't his.
What was the reasoning?
To dismiss the paternity would cause emotional harm to the child.
So the truth didn't matter. The man's financial ruin didn't matter. Only the child's feelings.
Justice was sacrificed for sentiment. That's Riker's entire point about the legal system being captured. It runs on feelings, not facts.
Then there's the corporate priesthood, the Church of Woke.
He sees HR and DEI departments as a religious order. He points out that Fortune 500 companies spend about $1.2 million a year on DEI consultants. He calls that a tithe.
You pay the tithe to keep the mob away.
Exactly. And if you commit heresy, you're out. Look at James Damore at Google.
Right, the Google memo.
Perfect case study. Damore wrote a memo using peer-reviewed science to explain biological differences in interest between men and women.
He was using data to try and solve a problem.
He used logic, citations, and he was fired for heresy. He tried to use the tools of the old world reason in a new world that runs on dogma.
And it's an education, too. Decolonizing math.
Yes, teaching that Pythagoras was a thief and that 2 + 2, 4 is a form of white supremacy. It's all part of what he calls the long march through the institutions. rotting the West from the inside by capturing the schools.
Okay, so that's the diagnosis. The game is rigged, the refs are biased, the rule book is rewritten. What's the solution? He doesn't just say give up.
No, he offers a specific toolkit. He calls it the Trivium Reborn.
I love this part. It felt ancient, grounding, but how does the guy actually use this?
The Trivium is classical critical thinking. Grammar, logic, rhetoric. Riker says men need to weaponize it.
Okay, start with grammar. In this context, what does that mean?
Grammar is naming things correctly. It's refusing to use their newspeak. So when someone says, I'm doing emotional labor, you don't accept the term.
You reject the premise.
You define it. You say, no, you are experiencing emotions. That is not labor. Roofing a house is labor. You anchor the conversation in objective reality.
Got it. What about logic?
Logic is exposing contradictions. You use their rules against them. For example, if gender is just a social construct and there's no difference between men and women, then why do we need quotas and safe spaces for women? If we're the same, treat us the same.
And finally, rhetoric.
Rhetoric is speaking truth without apology. It's dismantling the lies. Riker says men are so used to apologizing for just taking up space. Rhetoric is saying, I will not apologize for something I didn't do.
He suggests a specific oath protocol for men.
I will not lie. I will not serve lies. I will not enable deception.
And why is that oath so important?
It's psychological. Riker argues every time a man agrees with a lie, nods along in a DEI seminar, apologizes for a microaggression, he breaks a piece of his own soul, he tells himself he's weak.
So taking the oath rebuilds your internal sovereignty.
Exactly. It makes you dangerous to the system because you can't be shamed into compliance.
But for some guys, fighting from the inside isn't enough. Riker talks about the male exodus.
This is metanoia, Greek for a change of mind. It's about men who are just checking out of the system. MGTOW, parallel societies.
Liberty havens and digital nomads.
It's a strategy of non-participation. If the game is rigged, stop playing. There's that incredible story of the software engineer in Austin.
The guy who got ghosted? Tell that story.
So this guy, a typical nice guy engineer, gets falsely accused of harassment. His reputation is trashed. The woman he's seeing ghosts him. He's put through the ringer.
And he could have become bitter.
But he didn't. He went dark. He stopped dating for 3 years. He learned jujitsu. He learned high-level coding. And eventually he founded a nonprofit.
Riker calls him a knight without a sword.
Exactly. He built his own meaning. He didn't wait for a woman or a boss to tell him he was valuable. He became good without permission. And that is the core of the solution.
He also touches on stoicism and even aesthetics. He says, stop dressing like a teenager in a hoodie.
Yes. He argues your appearance is a form of grammar. If you look sloppy, you're signaling you've given up. He wants men to dress with intention, to build cognitive resistance through journaling and stoicism. So when the emotional ambush comes,
And it will come.
you are a fortress of reason. You don't react, you respond.
Powerful stuff. So what does this all mean for the listener right now?
It means we're seeing a bifurcation of society. Riker's final stance is that the future belongs to those who leave the noise behind. You have two choices.
Which are?
Stay in the matrix of feelings, always one accusation from ruin, always apologizing. Or step out, use the trivium, take the oath, and build a parallel life based on merit and truth.
That's a heavy choice, but it feels like the only real choice. He leaves us with a question that really stuck with me. Am I preserving truth or just paying rent on a lie?
And that's the question every man needs to ask himself. When he's nodding along in that meeting, he knows his nonsense. Is he paying rent on the lie that's destroying him?
Wow. Okay, listen. We have just scratched the surface. If this deep dive sparked something in you, if you need this war manual, you have to get the book. Go to Amazon Kindle or Google Play Books right now.
Yeah.
Buy good without permission. No more female approval.
Don't just read it, study it, use it. This isn't entertainment, it's armor.
And if you want to keep up with the author, follow Conrad Riker on Substack at Conrad Riker. He's putting out content you will not find anywhere else.
Absolutely. The Substack is a great resource.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. If you're ready to stop paying rent on the lie, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll see you next time. Stay sharp.